All right, so you think you've seen it all online, right? Buckle up, because today we're diving into Mr. Beast's challenges. You know, where a Lamborghini is like the target and the prize all at once.
Yeah, it's like way more than just cars and explosions, you
Yeah,
know? It's
right.
like those videos, they hook you with the crazy stuff, but then there's this whole other thing going on underneath. It's like almost like watching willpower get put to the test.
Totally. And it's not even just the crazy scale of everything, it's the people, too.
Yeah,
Like, take Blake. He's our guy in the hot seat this time. And it's not his first rodeo trying to win big with Mr. Beast,
right.
which, like, adds this whole extra layer of, can he finally do it?
It's like watching some Shakespearean drama. This guy keeps coming back, wants his redemption. You know, he's had some rough losses before, but he's still here, ready to jump back into the madness. I mean, what does that say about a person? About people in general?
Okay, so before we get too deep, let's, like, lay out what this challenge even is. Imagine 4 stages, each one trying to destroy this Lamborghini.
And Blake, let's be real.
Oh, yeah, for sure. First up, 10,000 bullets.
Just saying it out loud sounds insane. It's like a video game or something, but it's real life. With
Yeah.
real consequences if Blake messes this up.
Yeah.
We're talking calculated focus shots. Even trying to get your head around how that would work is mind-blowing.
Not to mention the money. They're not playing around here. This is serious cash. Remember when they said Blake spent like $78,000 just on stuff to use? That's a down payment on a house for some people, and he's using it to make a bulletproof bunker around a Lamborghini.
And that's just round one. We haven't even gotten to the 100-foot drop, the flaming cars, or the grand finale.
Don't forget the train.
How could we?
A train that is going full speed.
Right. Aimed right at the Lamborghini. It's like they said, let's take every action movie ever and mash it into one. But that's what makes it so good, you know? You can't help but wonder, can he actually pull this off?
And like how?
Mm.
The stakes are that high, the methods are that crazy. It's way more than just winning a car. It's like a master class in problem solving on the spot, having to adjust to the unexpected, which I think is what we're really going to dig into today. So let's get into the details of each challenge. Sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 10,000 bullets. Even saying that out loud is crazy. Like, it's straight out of a video game, but this is real life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's not a game for Blake either. If he gets this wrong, it's serious.
Yeah, and he's got that history with this stuff. This isn't just about the car for him. It's about proving something, like showing he's learned from all those past fails that he can beat the odds.
Right, you're right. The mental side of this is huge. But let's be practical for a second. How do you even start to defend against that many bullets?
See, that's where the video gets really cool. It's not just chucking up some walls and hoping for the best. He's thinking it through, you can tell. It's a mix of engineering and like almost art, the way he layers his defenses.
Yeah, it's like that part in every heist movie where they're planning the impossible. Except instead of breaking into something, he's trying to keep it all in one piece. We see those shipping containers, stacks of tires, even a whole water truck, all in the right spot to stop those bullets.
And don't forget the sacrificial lambs, those beat-up cars they put around the Lamborghini. First line of defense. Kind of brutal, but hey, it works.
It's like he's playing chess with physics or something, thinking ahead to every angle, every possible way those bullets could go. And the whole time the clock is ticking, so that adds a whole other level of pressure.
And that's got to be where the no-sleep thing comes in. You can practically see his brain working overtime even though he's exhausted. Makes you wonder if being desperate makes you more creative.
It's like that saying, necessity is the mother of invention, right? And Blake is inventing up a storm. But even with the best plans in the world, there's still that chance something goes wrong. Like, what if even one bullet got through?
Oh, totally. And that's what makes the jump to the next challenge so jarring. All of a sudden, it's not about force or planning. It's about gravity.
The 100-foot drop. Even knowing he survives, it's hard to watch that Lamborghini falling without freaking out a little.
And this time, he has to be resourceful in a different way. No budget to start fresh, so he's stuck using whatever's left from the last round. Mattresses, piles of pillows, it looks kind of ridiculous.
Until you remember, that's stopping $1 million car from being totaled.
Yeah.
And somehow it works. That shot of the Lamborghini just sitting there in a pile of bouncy castles burned into my brain.
Talk about thinking outside the box.
Agreed.
Seeing possibilities where other people just see a mess. But it's a good reminder of how serious this is, too. That's a lot of metal falling from the sky. One wrong move and it's over.
And then just when you think he might get a break, we're onto the challenge that almost cost him $500,000 last time. Flaming cars raining down.
Talk about adding insult to injury. This isn't just physics now, it's personal. Can he beat the challenge that took him down before? I mean, that's got to mess with your head.
Well, this time he ditches the whole fortress thing and goes for something a little more, how do I put this, dynamic.
Dynamic is one way to put it. They get two massive shipping containers and arrange them in a V shape, like giant ramps to bounce the flaming cars away from the Lamborghini. It's risky for sure, and those near misses. Houseman, you can practically feel the heat through the screen.
Like watching a game of flaming pinball, except the stakes are way higher. And there's Blake just chill as anything, adjusting on the fly, like he's actually thriving on the pressure.
And that's the thing about this challenge. It shows how important experience is, even when you mess up. He learned from his mistakes, changed up his strategy, and came out on top. Well, more or less.
And just when you think it can't get any crazier, we get to the final showdown.
The train.
A speeding train.
Coming right at that Lamborghini.
It's like this primal thing, right? This unstoppable force meeting this, well, really expensive object.
And Blake's stuck right in the middle. He's got to take everything he's learned so far and make one last stand. You see pieces of those old defenses, the shipping containers, again, the mattresses, even those railroad ties that messed him up before.
It's like he's putting a puzzle together. But the pieces are all explosions and close calls.
And that clock is ticking away in the background. Can't you just feel it? That tension building as he's reinforcing those train tracks? One wrong move and it's over.
Makes you wonder, though, is it all planned out that perfectly, or is there some serious luck involved in all this ingenuity? I mean, at some point it feels like he's just tempting fate.
I know, that's the cool part, isn't it? Where's the line between skill and luck? Yeah, there's all that planning, understanding how things work, knowing how to adapt on the fly. But then there's the stuff you can't control. The wild cards.
The butterfly effect, the lucky bounce, that one split-second decision that could go either way, and yet somehow he does it. The train hits, the Lamborghini's seen better days for sure, but it's still in one piece.
And that's why we can't stop watching these videos. We're hardwired to want that feeling of everything working out in the end, that moment when things go from chaos to order, even if it is just a beat-up Lamborghini driving away from a huge wreck.
And let's not forget, Blake doesn't just get bragging rights. He gets to keep the Lamborghini, plus a nice little bonus on top of it. Classic underdog story. You can't help but root for the guy who keeps getting back up no matter how many times he gets knocked down.
It says something about us, I think. We're fascinated by destruction, by pushing things to the limit, but we still want a happy ending. Like watching a disaster movie where somehow people survive.
It reminds you that even when things seem impossible, a little creativity, a whole lot of grit, and maybe a bit of luck can go a long way. So next time you're facing a challenge that seems too big, remember Blake in that Lamborghini. Might just inspire you to think differently, push yourself, and maybe even beat the odds.
Just maybe skip the whole speeding train part.
Good advice. This has been a wild ride, folks, but that's what we do here at The Deep Dive. We go deeper, exploring the hows and whys behind the stuff that makes you think, makes you ask questions, and maybe even makes you want to build a bulletproof bunker around your own car. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and never underestimate the power of a well-placed bouncy castle.